Hey keto friends, it's Carolyn again, and today we're going to make a keto Starbucks copycat recipe. I love the coffee, of course I still do, coffee's my thing, but I also loved the scones. I was a huge lover of the maple pecan scones, and I also loved the little mini vanilla bean scones. That's what we're gonna make here today. It's been a recipe on my blog for quite some time, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. We're gonna start with our almond flour. I have 3 cups of nice, finely ground, blanched almond flour here, and I'm going to add some sweetener. I use about a 1/3 cup of Swerve sweetener, and we need to add some baking powder. And for this, because it makes quite a few of these little scones, I use a full tablespoon of baking powder. And for all baked goods, you want to use a little bit of salt. So I am using a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to whisk these all together. Now we can put in our vanilla. Now you have a couple of choices here. You could go to the expense of using a real vanilla bean. And it's kind of a pain to slice these open and scrape out all the little seeds and get them into your baked good. So I actually have another option, which I found recently, and this is vanilla bean powder. It is actually from ground vanilla beans. I believe they take the whole pod and grind it all up. Your third option is to just use vanilla extract. To be honest, you have to use this anyway. You have to add about a 1/2 teaspoon to amp up that vanilla flavor. So you could just do a little more of it. But I'm gonna use my vanilla powder. I like to use about a teaspoon. And now I'm going to start adding the wet ingredients. So I have 2 eggs, and this is a 1/4 cup of melted butter, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, and as I said, we need to add a little more vanilla extract. For this, since I already put in the vanilla powder, I'm just gonna do 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm just going to break up my eggs and start whisking this together. Now that my dough is all ready to go, I'm going to take a large cookie sheet that I have lined with a silicone liner. I'm just going to transfer my dough completely to my cookie sheet. So you want to divide your dough evenly into 3 pieces. And each of those pieces, you're going to pat into a nice circle. Each circle is going to be 5 to 6 inches in diameter and about 1 inch thick. You're going to cut each of the circles into 8 even wedges. And now you just want to give them space from each other to bake properly and to bake through. So I like to take this little offset spatula and just wiggle it under each one and space them out all over my cookie sheet. And when it comes to being a perfectionist and making them all even, I'm not that person. I will tell you, you can see right here, I've got 1 little tiny one and 1 much bigger one. But these can go together as a serving, which is perfect. And now I am putting them in a preheated oven. It's at 325, and they're gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes. And now I'm going to make a quick glaze for them. What I have here is about 1/2 cup of the confectioner's Swerve sweetener, and I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. So you want the glaze to be thick enough so that it'll really stick to the scones, but you don't want it to be so thick that you can't dip the tops into it. We're going to add some vanilla. I, again, am going to do the vanilla powder, but you could add vanilla extract too. I like the powder because it gives the look of vanilla beans. That looks just about right to me, so now we can dip our scones. I have a cookie sheet that I lined with some wax paper, and then I put a baking rack just on top of it. We're just gonna dip the tops right in and put them right here on our rack. And that, my friends, is all there is to making a keto version of Starbucks mini vanilla bean scones. Let me tell you, these go perfectly with a cup of coffee. It's a great breakfast, it's a great afternoon snack, and I hope you enjoy. This delicious keto recipe and so many more are on All Day I Dream About Food. Hope you'll check it out.